So you're on the hunt for a great dog trainer here in Round Rock, Texas. Well, you've come to the right place. In this explainer, we're going to walk through everything you need to know to make a really confident, smart choice for both you and your dog.
Just picture it for a second. You're enjoying a beautiful day, taking a nice, calm walk along the Brushy Creek Trail, or maybe you're browsing the local farmer's market, and your dog is right there with you, just totally relaxed and well-behaved. That's the dream, right? Well, that's the goal, and finding the right trainer is exactly how we get there.
Here's our game plan for today. We'll start by talking about what training really looks like for life here in Round Rock. Then we'll get into training methods and what all those certifications actually mean. After that, we'll break down the different training formats and their costs. We'll also touch on some key local rules and wrap up with a checklist of questions you should ask any trainer you're thinking about hiring. First up, let's talk about training for your actual life. This isn't just about sit and stay in your living room. It's about getting your dog ready to be a great companion everywhere you go together in our community.
Think about what you do every day around here. You need a dog that can handle walking past joggers and bikes on the trail without going crazy. A dog that can keep it together in a busy place like La Frontera, or ignore all the excitement of a game at Old Settlers Park. And wouldn't it be nice if they could just settle down quietly while you're trying to enjoy a meal on a patio downtown? These are the real-world skills that a good trainer is going to help you build.
Okay, so how do you spot a professional who can actually teach those skills in a way that's both effective and humane? Let's look at the methods and the credentials that really matter.
The foundation of pretty much all modern, effective dog training is something called positive reinforcement. And it's actually pretty simple. You just reward the behavior you want to see more of. This isn't just about teaching commands. It's about building a really strong, positive bond with your dog. So training feels more like your team.
And that brings me to a really important point. If you talk to a trainer and they start suggesting things that involve fear, pain, or intimidation, that's a huge red flag. Humane, reward-based methods are not only kinder, they are way safer for your dog, for you, and for everyone around you. And honestly, the results last because they're built on trust, not on fear.
So how can you tell if a trainer knows their stuff? Well, you might see a bunch of letters after their name. While Texas doesn't require trainers to be licensed, these certifications are a really good sign. A CPDTK, for example, means they've passed a big exam on training knowledge. Something from the IAABC might mean they have a specialty in more complex behavior issues. Seeing these acronyms just shows that a trainer is serious about their education and follows a code of ethics.
All right, let's get into the practical side of things. What kind of training formats are out there and what can you expect to pay? We want to find the right fit for your goals and, of course, your budget.
The two most popular options you'll see are group classes and private training. Group classes are awesome for learning to focus around other dogs and people, and they're usually the more affordable route. Private, in-home training, on the other hand, is tailored 100% to you. It's perfect for tackling problems that happen at home, like barking at the doorbell, and you can often see faster results for those really specific issues.
So what should you plan on budgeting? Here are some typical costs you'll find for dog training right here in the Round Rock area. You know, a series of group classes might be a couple $100s, while individual private lessons are a bit more per session. And as you can see, those really intensive options like a board and train program are a much bigger investment.
Yeah, that top number for a board and train can definitely give you some sticker shock. But remember, that reflects a multi-week immersive program where a professional is doing all the heavy lifting. It's a really intensive option that's usually for folks with some very specific and pretty significant training goals.
Being a responsible dog owner isn't just about training, it's also about knowing and following the local rules. So let's do a quick run-through of the regulations you need to know about in Round Rock and Williamson County.
The big ones are pretty straightforward. First, Round Rock has a leash law. Your dog needs to be on a leash in public unless you're inside a designated dog park. Second, a current rabies vaccination isn't just a good idea, it's required by state law. Third, be a good neighbor and keep an eye on nuisance barking, because that can actually be a city ordinance violation. And finally, remember what we said about trainers not needing a license? That's exactly why doing your homework and checking their credentials is so valuable.
All right, you've got the background knowledge. Now let's get you set up with the exact questions to ask so you can feel totally prepared when you start talking to trainers. This is about making the best possible choice for your dog.
When you think about it, this is your chance to really be your dog's advocate. You're not just hiring someone to do a job, you're looking for a partner, someone who's going to help guide you and your dog's education.
Okay, here's your checklist.
The first thing you'll want to ask is about their methods and equipment. Make sure it aligns with that positive approach we talked about. Ask about their qualifications and how they stay up to date. A good trainer is always learning. Find out how they're going to customize the plan just for your dog, and ask how you'll measure success together. And of course, get a clear picture of all the costs and their cancellation policy right up front. And if you're dealing with a more serious behavior issue, it's a great idea to ask if they'll coordinate with your vet. Because really, this all comes back to that goal we started with, having a happy, confident dog that you can truly share your life with, enjoying everything that Round Rock has to offer, together.
And once you get started with training, you've got all these great local spots to put those new skills into practice. You can work on recall in a safe, fenced area like the Play for All Dog Park or Shenandoah Park. And that Brushy Creek Regional Trail, it's the perfect real-world classroom for mastering loose leash walking. We wish you the very best in your search. Having a well-trained dog is just going to bring so much more joy to your life here, making those neighborhood walks more peaceful, having friends over less chaotic, and making all your adventures around town that much more fun.